The rain had been coming down in torrents for days. The farm and even part of the milk house was underwater. It was so soupy. Rain, mud, and cow patties are not a pleasant mix, especially when it's more than belly high on the cows that you need to milk. Now, truth be told, my little brother and I didn't like milking in any circumstance, but this was awful. And to top it off, there was one cow I particularly didn't care for, but was the most valuable in the herd because she gave the richest milk, which increased the cream content and our bottom line. My dad insisted that we milk her and not let her dry up and not sell her. But each morning and evening I would hobble 3 of her legs just so she wouldn't kick us and start the dreaded milking process as she stood on just one leg. I would sit there and just imagine letting her dry up. After all, that's what should happen to something as ornery as she was. It would bring me a temporary sense of joy. My mind would then fast forward to envisioning her being loaded into a trailer, headed to the sale barn, and I'd be doing the happy dance as she was driven off. You won't guess what her name was. Ornery. Can you believe we spoke this over her day and night literally? No wonder we were in the mess we were with her. Her name fit her perfectly, though. She also had that crazy look in her eye, that mean look. You know the look I'm talking about. You've probably seen it in a rebellious teenager, maybe a coworker, or even at a registration line or queue. Now, don't look at your neighbor right now or point a finger at them if you've already seen that look in their eye this morning. We had all had enough that day, and things were not going our way, as we had to wash off each and every nasty belly, bag, and teat of every single cow. Ornery was the dirtiest of them all. It was as if she loved being in the middle of all of it, loved stirring it up, and having the mess all around her. She also made things more difficult than they needed to be, so we had to milk her by hand. I was at my wit's end and started complaining because she was especially ornery that night and had that wicked, nasty look in her eye. To make things worse, my little brother was full of it as well. In my heart and head, I was getting ready to just really let him have it. I had had enough. I was justified, so I took a deep breath. I opened my mouth. I opened it really wide so I could let it rip, and wouldn't you know, her manure-filled tail went swoop right across my tongue. Now let me be frank with you. I learned a good lesson that day. Keep your mouth shut if you find yourself standing in a big pile of manure. Have lots